High contrast makeup. What is it? Is it a fad or is it legit? Or maybe a little bit of both. Keep watching and I'll answer it all and show you how to do it. I also recently got married. It was wonderful, the best day of my life, and I wanted to use this opportunity to share with you all the one thing they don't tell you about after you get married. I think it might surprise you. By the way, I'm Jeannie. I'm a pro makeup artist. I live in Los Angeles. I work with celebrities, beauty brands, and everyone in between. Welcome to my channel, and welcome back because I've been on a little bit of a hiatus. Before we get into the makeup, I just want to talk about the eye masks that I'm wearing. These are wonderful. They're from Jillian Dempsey. They're her hydrating eye masks. Two things that I love about these. First of all, as you can see, the real estate on the face, they're huge. They're much bigger than traditional eye patches, so they cover much more of your face, depuffing, all that good stuff. Secondly, as you can see, they don't move. They don't budge. I can go and make breakfast or drink coffee or do emails. And you know how a lot of times when you have eye masks, they end up like down here on your face or up on your nose because they slide all around. These don't budge. It's another reason why I love them. Just gonna take them off. Feels so good. Just gonna tap in the excess. Like I said, I feel like I've just been playing catch up and trying to catch up on sleep and catch up on life and get back into a routine. And it's just been really, really hard. I don't know if it's the time of year because it's the holidays or if it's the weather. Maybe it's just post-wedding blues because I feel like I definitely have post-wedding blues. So while I'm talking, I'm gonna go right into makeup so I'm not just sitting here talking to you, I'm actually showing you. So technically I have a high contrast face. I have lighter skin and darker features. The whole idea behind high contrast makeup is creating that contrast between light and dark on the face. Personally, I think a high contrast makeup is one of the most beautiful things that you can wear. There are a ton of examples of high contrast makeup. This is not a new idea or a new technique by any means. I think we just put a new label on it and it's become a trend. Starting with brows, no moisturizer on the face. Like always, I'm going in with the Ardell Brow Glue. This is a new favorite of mine. Also in my kit, Ardell sent it to me and I started using it and I love it. So I'm just gonna brush through the brows. Just gonna grab the end of a brush. I'm just gonna press down my brows to put them into place. The thing about this stuff, it dries super quickly, which I love. Other brow, just brushing through, getting them where you want them to be. Oh yeah, once you place it down, it's like kind of hard to move. I don't have to worry about any eye cream because I put those masks on, so I'm gonna go in with some moisturizer. This is a new one that I've been using. It's from Wonder Skin. It's called It's a Miracle 8-in-1 Hydrogel. It's been on my table for a while, and then I started using it, and it feels really, really wonderful. It just kind of floods the skin with hydration. It is a gel. As you can see right here, just gonna use it to moisturize. Anyway, I digress. Back to the wedding talk. The one thing that nobody really, I kind of hinted at this in the beginning of the video, but the one thing that people don't really tell you, it's months and months of preparation and making phone calls and booking things and putting deposits down and getting the dress and getting the shoes and then deciding if you need another pair of shoes, because I did have 3 pairs of shoes because I wore a pair of shoes the night before with a white jumpsuit right here. That was my rehearsal dinner outfit. And the shoes are Betsy Johnson. Actually, I wore Betsy Johnson the whole time, completely coincidentally. I have to find an occasion to wear them again because they were just so fun and so great to wear and actually quite comfortable because of the platform. And to finish the brow, my NYX Lift and Snatch pen. Just gonna fill in anywhere I need it. And I also decided that I wanted to wear sneakers because I don't love wearing heels. I love the idea of wearing heels and I love how I walk in heels. I love how I look in heels, but heels do not like my feet. So I planned ahead and I bought a pair of sneakers to wear under my dress for the after party. And I actually had to change into them a little sooner because my feet got a ton of blisters. It was a mess. One of the things that did not go necessarily to plan, but I did have sneakers just in case because I had a feeling it would happen. So one of the things that a high contrast makeup has is obviously contrast. So what I'm doing is I'm filling in my brows. Not too dark because we don't want a super dark brow that's going to pull focus, but we do want a darker brow because we want to create that contrast. I'm lucky that I already have naturally dark brows, so I don't really need to use a ton of product. This is nothing new, guys. It's nothing new. It's just a new name to approach a certain type of makeup. That's really all it is. So with the wedding, it's something you plan for months and months. You're looking forward to it. You send out save the dates. My husband got his suit made, an Italian suit by a friend, a gorgeous, gorgeous suit that I can't wait for him to wear again because he looks so handsome in it. Initially, I was going to sell my wedding dress, but I think now I'm going to donate it and donate it to somebody who might need it, who can do whatever they want with it. If anybody knows of any places where I can donate my wedding dress in LA or even Orange County, please let me know in the comments below, because I would really love to give the dress to someone who needs it. So finishing up the brow here, like I said, not going too dark, but definitely deepening them and giving them a little bit of contrast on the face. Now we're moving on to base. We're using one of my favorites, which is the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Foundation. One of the reasons I'm using this is not only because of its longevity, but because it's a little bit lighter than I am right now, and it's going to give us that contrast that I was talking about once again. And the thing is, with high contrast makeup, you don't necessarily have to do a full face, but you do need to make sure that the skin is pretty flawless in the sense that you eliminate any redness, any discoloration, and then that creates the canvas for everything else to pop and to move forward, so to speak. Anyway, I'm going with my IT Cosmetics brush. I'm gonna do a thin layer all over the face. One of the things that's so great about this foundation is a little goes a long way. It has a lot of pigment to it. I actually love this so much that I want to add it to my pro kit because it is so beautiful. It performs. If you prep the skin properly and you put this on, it will last. It won't crease, it won't break down. So I just did one thin layer. You can see that it already canceled out so much redness that I had. It helped even out my skin. You really don't need a lot. That was one pump of foundation. You can see I have a little bit of breakthrough redness here. What I like to do is I like to tap whatever leftover foundation I have on my brush just to give a little bit of extra coverage. It did help to cover those blemishes that I have on my forehead, but that's what concealer is for. I'm gonna go in with a lighter concealer. This is from Revlon. This is the 5-in-1 concealer. If you've watched my channel before, you know that I love this concealer. It is quite light. I do want it to be lighter, but I don't want it to be this light. So I'm gonna take the shade 30, just add a little bit of that, taking the other end of the IT Cosmetics brush. Just going to mix the two of them together. And then I'm gonna load up the brush like this, tap off the excess, and then we're just gonna go in and conceal wherever we need, usually around the eyes. Get both those little blemishes right there. So like I was saying, so you have this huge important day. People fly in for it, family, friends, people you haven't seen in so long. They're all in one room together, celebrating you and your partner. And it's the most glorious few days ever. Truly. I mean, I can't speak for anybody else, but for myself, it was just, my wedding day was one of the best days of my life. It was not perfect. There was some mishaps, but in the grand scheme of things, it was perfect. I married my soulmate. At one point, I looked around at dinner and I realized all the people that I love the most in the world are in this room right now. And both my dad and my stepdad gave these beautiful speeches, not a dry eye in the house. My best friend of 20 plus years gave a beautiful speech. It was just so, so wonderful. And you ride that high while everyone's in town, even the day after, you're going out to dinner and you're seeing people and you're saying goodbye and you're having drinks and hugs and reminiscing and talking about how great the day was. And then even people leave and you get on the phone and, you know, my dad a few days later messaged me and said, "Babe, I'm still riding the high from your wedding. It was such a wonderful day." And that made my day. And then life starts up again. And no one talks about how hard that transition is. No one talks about the post-wedding slump. Yes, I'm incredibly happy. We opened up our cards and we're planning our honeymoon and it's really exciting. But at the same time, it's almost as if there's a depression there. And I just didn't know that that would happen. I'm gonna hit pause on that for a second and go back to the makeup because we gotta get this done. This is the Victoria Beckham Kajal Liner. These are awesome. I got this at Violet Grey, which is another kind of boutique-y store here in Los Angeles. You can order them online. This is in the shade Cocoa. They are the smoothest, most gorgeous liners. The thing I love about this, and the gentleman who worked there, Danilo, hi Danilo, I don't know if you're watching, he specifically mentioned this pencil because it's a brown, but it's more of like a cool tone brown, which I think is really interesting. And when you smudge it on the lash line, it's so pretty. So that's what we're gonna do. This pencil is really soft and a little goes a long way. So I'm just gonna take it all along the lash line on the top. It does not need to be precise. I like to stop before it reaches the end of my eye because my eyes are deep set. So I've noticed if I go too far, it creates kind of a weird shape. So I'm just gonna take my little pencil brush here and we're just gonna smudge. Once I get to the outside, the outer corner, I like to pull it up, creating a little bit of depth on the outer corner. Then we're just gonna take a little bit of it underneath, just a little, and smudge that out. The idea behind this is to create contrast on both the eye and the lip, but don't make it to where it's like a heavy eye and a heavy lip. We're trying to find balance in the contrast, if that makes any sense. And then I'm gonna take a clean fluffy brush, this is a 217 from MAC, and just buff out those edges. You could put mascara on and call it a day. I think there is enough depth here to create a little bit of contrast. This is the Arabesque palette from Tom Ford, and I'm gonna tap into that dark brown and just go over the lid. It's really effortless. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just creating a little bit of depth like that. We're gonna curl the lashes. This is the Tartelette XL mascara. It's a tubing mascara. The cool thing about this, it's actually a new favorite of mine, is that they talked about it on Lipstick on the Rim, which is the podcast that Molly Sims has. And they talk about all their favorite products, and Molly talked about how this is her new favorite mascara. She loves it. I was like, Molly Sims and I have something in common. I do need to powder, so I'm going to take one of my new favorite powders, which is the Creaseless Setting Powder from Tarte. This is in the shade Pink. This is also going to create a little bit of contrast because it's going to brighten under the eye. The packaging is genius, because you know how sometimes when you open up a loose powder, the powder is just there and then it gets all over the place? This has this cute little plug here that actually had a little powder puff that it came with. How cute is this little powder puff? I love it so much. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that on the powder puff, tap off the excess, ooh. And then I'm just gonna set under the eye, and actually in the middle of the face. So you want the middle of the face to be nice and bright. The nice thing about these powders is even though it says pink, it is really versatile. I wouldn't use it on deep skin. I probably wouldn't even use it on medium skin, but light to medium skin can definitely use this. Now, before we finish the rest of the face, I want to do a lip. And that's because when I'm doing a makeup, whether it's on myself or on one of my clients, and I'm doing something that has more of a bold lip or even a word of the day, contrasty lip, I like to do the lip first and then finish the rest of the face. Because sometimes I find if you do the complexion, if you do the contour and the bronzer and the blush and the highlighter, and then you put a red lip on, it's too much. I like to take the backwards approach, do the lip first and then finish the face, so then everything is balanced. And because we've been talking about my wedding, I'm going to wear my wedding lip today because I love it so much. This is the Say lip liner in the shade Twist. It's kind of like a mauvey brown. I'm just gonna line and fill in. My personal philosophy when it comes to doing a contrast lip, it doesn't have to be red, it doesn't have to be bright. It can still be a neutral, but it can be a deeper neutral or maybe a cool tone neutral if your skin is more warm tone like mine is, to help it pop. There are quite a few steps to this lip because I had to find the absolute perfect one, and I went through quite a few iterations. So this is Patina from Stila. This is the Longwear Liquid Lip, and I'm gonna take just a little of that. A little goes a long way. This is good, but it's just a little too purple. I'm gonna go in with Light Mauve, which is a longwear lip from Chanel. Another longwear lip on top of the other longwear lip because, as you know, wedding day, it's a very long day. You know, you're kissing your partner, you're drinking, you're eating, and I just didn't wanna have to worry about touching up my lipstick. And I touched up my lipstick once. Pretty amazing. I feel like when I put this color on, it makes it feel a little bit more bridal. The pink kind of makes it feel a little more fun, a little more feminine. Okay, so this is the lip. I might put a little bit of gloss on it at the end, but I haven't decided. I kind of like where it's living right now. So we're gonna take the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand, do a little bit of sculpting on the face. Right there, a little on the forehead, and then just a teeny bit on the jawline. And taking my IT Cosmetics 151 brush, it is dirty. Please don't at me. Tap that out. Another thing that creates contrast is contouring. I could have just put blush on, but just didn't feel right to not sculpt the face just a little bit. And now for blush, I'm going in with Hanky Panky from RMS. It's one of their beautiful kind of illuminating blushes. I love these. They're in my kit. I use them on brides. I use them on carpets. They just add this beautiful luminosity to the skin. And because I am who I am, I'm gonna take a Smith Cosmetics 235 into the blush and sweep it in my crease. Take a little of this Pat McGrath Divine Rose gloss, just a little. And when you put gloss on top of a longwear lip, it does last longer, believe it or not. So here we have my version of a high contrast makeup look. Is it a beauty makeup? Pretty much. Is it a trend? Probably. But it's still really pretty, and it's still an interesting way to approach how you do your own makeup. Thinking about how to make the eyes pop, how to make the lips pop, how to make the skin look as flawless as possible so then your features do pop. Even just doing this makeup has helped me a little bit more out of my post-wedding slump, so to speak. Thanks for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two. Please let me know in the comments below what you think, any ideas for future tutorials, any questions you might have, and I can't wait to bring you all more content. And I will see you next week with a brand new tutorial.